talking bargaining on wages, on working hours, relationship between employers and employees. But in fact, everything can be in social dialogue. And that's what's happening at this moment. Well, social dialogue will not talk about that, but virtually every other item can be dealt with in social dialogue. And this is very tricky. It's so tricky that within the last couple, again, we're talking about politics, be aware. The last couple of years, if you look at publications, particularly from official bodies, the EU, it will always be sport is changed into sport and active leisure. It's always added. In every publication you'll see it. In this context, outdoors and fitness, and it's even in publications, are considered to be the main items, the main components of the active leisure sector. And then another thing what happens is that, well, representativeness. There are so many organizations, so many people claiming to be representative for sport and active leisure. And in social dialogue, and this is what is happening at this moment, is that you get all kinds of organizations. For instance, and if you're not from England or Scotland or in the neighborhood, you might not know what Quango means. Quango is a quasi-autonomous, non-governmental organization, which means they're dependent from government because they get their money, their funding from government. So it's government organization actually that's getting involved in social dialogue at the European level in a country where there's actually nearly no social dialogue. The French Olympic Committee is very active. Why? Because they want to safeguard their protectionism. There are some other organizations that are all pretending to be representative for sport and active leisure. But for us, anyway, in the outdoors, we said no. These cannot be representative for our sector, at least. And they also claim to be representative for the fitness sector. I don't know if anyone amongst you is related to the fitness sector, but this is the same topic. What is the Sport for All movement going to do? Are you aware of what's happening at this level, at European level? Not only at European level, in national levels too. So we decided that we, ECO, European Confederation, that we needed to define really clearly what we are talking about. We are also, I know that at this moment IFA, and IFA is European Health and Fitness Association, is also discussing this topic. They want to know, well they have to, because if you go to some functionaries in DG, whatever, you always have to say, who are you? I can tell you, yes, we're doing canoeing, kayaking and so forth. I say, oh yes, I say, I understand, but please can you put it on a piece of writing? Put it down. And the methodology we used, well, this is what I would like to present to you, and if you can use it, it's up to you. I think it is a useful tool, but I'm the one who's saying that it's useful, it's up to you. Defining the outdoors, the first step we made was, and then you can see we went back to this VOCA Sport report. VOCA Sport is published by IDIOS, which is the European European Observatoire of Sport Employment. This is the only document I know of which has figures that can help you. And then, well, the text you can find on this website, what is coming, you can find it over there again. Basically, what we're doing is, well, these are the figures that can be deducted from these studies, and we were putting active leisure, because that's the term, the wording that was used everywhere, in opposition to sport. I'm not going into detail about this. This is another part, first part of the article you can find on the internet there. And then, amongst sport, the categories professional sport, voluntary sport. Then on the other side, you've got the active leisure, which is recreational activities, and industrial leisure. Industrial leisure is actually referred to Disney World, playgrounds, things like that. The second step was to define denominators. What are the characteristics of our job? And this was done by brainstorming. It's important to know that we looked at it as if we were managers of a company. We were looking at our own business. We were not talking in general, generic definitions of whatsoever. We wanted to focus to the outdoors without focusing on other aspects. Even if we put active leisure in opposition to sport, it was not to mean, we did not mean to make any statement about sport. It was just as a tool to compare. And you must be aware that, and this would provoke a lot of discussion if you want, that the wordings are never very, very exact. It's nearly impossible to be exact. Now, and this is very technical. The first point, denominator, which we put forward was the economic sector. If you're aware, if you know what the NACE codes is, these are economic codes. Every company has got a code, and in each country, in each EU country since 2008, these codes are identical. So if you're managing a fitness center, or you are managing a bookshop, or you are selling hamburgers or whatsoever, you will have a NACE code. And these are very specific, and all the statistical offices in every country and at European level uses these NACE codes to clarify, to make their statistical estimates. And the first point, very interesting for us at least, was, you see, we're not sport, we're in another NACE code. Actually, the NACE code should be 93.299, and then every country has possibility of adding 2 other digits to it if they like to, just to get the main picture. Outdoor or active leisure, who do we have to deal with? We are not dealing with Olympic committees, we're not dealing with federations. We're dealing with the Ministry of Work, or the Ministry of Economy, or tourism authorities, or whatsoever. Completely different items. Our counterparts are employees, or the employees' unions. If you're in the sport area, your counterparts will be federations, leagues, Olympic committees, and so forth. So characteristics, you can see we're on the fund side, we're paying our employees, we're not working with volunteers. They're animators, we're offering packages and so forth. We're our target group, our clients, we've got the insurance, we're particularly in the company, we have to deal with company insurances, with liability insurances and so forth. Safety, our safety is consumer safety. It's not safety in stadiums or whatsoever. If we have a problem with justice, it will be on liability. And the setting, quite important, is nature. A setting which cannot be delocalized. It's your river, it's your mountain. We're offering employment mostly in rural areas. So, active leisure, in conclusion, had some characteristics. Even if you look at fitness, this was the same. Outdoor and fitness was more or less the same way of dealing with clients, doing business, except that for fitness there were some smaller, minor, except for the NACE code, differences. So, in conclusion, we ended up with this table, saying, okay, sport would be professional and voluntary. That's not our world. Our world is the active leisure, and at this moment we identify outdoors, fitness, and the industrial leisure. Now, if you want these things, references are to be found in the internet. To summarize, put it all proper in one picture. This is the summary of the other tables. So, in conclusion, after identifying, which we did not do at this project, did not talk about, and then defining the outdoors, it is possible to position the outdoors within the whole discussion of sport and active leisure. And we're making the statement that we are a specific segment. We don't want to be in the sport area. We don't want to be influenced by discussions about selling players and doping and in competitions and so forth and so on. We don't accept to be represented by other organizations. We want to be represented by ourselves, by those who are talking for the outdoors in this case. And so we wonder, maybe it might be worthwhile for the Sport for All movement to think about what you're doing, define what you're doing, and act and look for a place within the sport policy, the European sport policy, and really state what you're doing to avoid, if you don't do that, you must be aware that others will be talking on your behalf. And who these others will be, I don't know. You don't know, but there will be others talking on your behalf. But again, it's up to you to decide, well, to representatives of the Sport for All movement, to decide what direction you want to go, if you want to go this direction, if not. But be aware, at sport political level, at European level, this is a hot topic. Social dialogue is a hot topic. I hope I didn't cause too many problems. If you ever want to contact me, don't throw bombs or whatsoever. This is my address if you find me near Brussels.
Thank you, Hermann.